Well, okay, I want to thank Dr. Probasco for coming and talking with us today. She was a Golden Eagle here and as a transfer student. So do you want to tell the students when you were here at the University of Southern Mississippi?
Yeah, so I started August of 2013 and I finished in May of 2015 and went straight into grad school.
That's right. And now you're employed, right? So that's all
Yeah.
stuff. That's great. So can you tell us a little bit about why you chose the biochemistry as your major?
Yeah, so I took chemistry 1 in high school, hated it, didn't have a great teacher, did not do well in it at all. But I wanted to finish it out. So at the time, my high school offered a chemistry 2 instead of an AP chemistry. So ended up taking that and had a different teacher, and the way that she taught just made everything make sense. And I actually really learned to love the subject. It wasn't like your typical high school subject for me, where I felt like I didn't have to try very much. I actually did have to put in a good bit of effort. But then also it helped me relate everything back to real life and real world. And so then, after doing that and doing really well in that class, I decided to do the high school chemistry teacher route. Basically, I would get an education degree but have the ability to teach chemistry. And several professors talked me out of that option just from the sheer amount of how that would limit you on jobs and moving up. And so I went the ACS route in college and then continued on through grad school. Once I got into undergrad research, that's when I really realized that, okay, this is what I want to do and I want to continue this, and finished out and got my PhD.
Fantastic. So you actually came to USM as a transfer student from MGCCC.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about what that was like, having a second transition in your college career, again going into a new environment and having to repeat that all over again as a junior?
Yeah, it was definitely really interesting because I had my freshman year, and then my junior year I had another freshman year. It was a very interesting process. For me, I let my introvertedness get in the way. So if I could do it all over again, I 100% would still go the transfer route. For me at the time, it made sense. But I would jump in and immediately just kind of insert myself and be like, hey, can I study with your group? And I would also probably give myself that leeway of, even though it's designed to be a 4-year degree, you can take an extra semester. You can, spread things out so that way you're not spread so thin, because I did make it harder on myself than it needed to be. So yeah, if you transfer in, don't be scared to jump in and, ask people if you can study with them, or, just make those groups, because that will help a lot. But it was definitely an interesting experience.
Okay, fantastic. So when did you start getting involved in undergraduate research?
It was the fall semester I started, so fall of 2013. I heard about the McNair Scholars Program, and in order to be in the McNair Scholars Program, you needed to be part of or joining a research group. And so I actually interviewed with Dr. Pixa, and my research interests didn't really align with hers. So she actually directed me to Dr. Masterson. And so I interviewed with Dr. Masterson, and very shortly after began doing research under the direction of a couple grad students. And so, yeah, it was probably September, October of my fall semester.
Okay, fantastic. So can you tell us a little bit more about the McNair program? What kind of benefits did you see that the McNair program provided you for your in your major and then ultimately in your decision to go to graduate school?
Yeah, so the McNair program is an awesome program if you are someone like me who fit the criteria. At the time, it was you had to either be a minority, low income, and there was a third one that was
First gen, right?
yeah, first generation, and I was low income and first generation. And so it was just a really good opportunity because I didn't have that familial support that everyone else seemed to have in helping make those decisions just because my family didn't know anything about it. And so hearing about that program, meeting that group of people was really great. And it teaches you a lot about grad school in the sense of I learned how to write a thesis because that was one of the requirements is you have to do research, and then at the end of a certain time frame you write however long of a page document, which is essentially a thesis. And so I learned how the basics of doing that, and it just really helped prepare me. So it gave me GRE prep, it gave me we went and did college tours and other things like that. So it gave me the opportunity that I wouldn't have had just based on my background because, again, like my family didn't know. We didn't have any idea. So it was just a really great program. They paid me it was like a summer internship type situation. I did research over the summer. So they paid for some of that, and you go through the GRE prep course, and you have to do so many presentations, which also helped speaking, and it was just a really great opportunity. And I went to the University of Alabama for grad school, and it actually translated into that university because I was able to get a fellowship based on being a McNair graduate. And it was really great because that only about 10 of those are handed out per year. And so I was able to get one of those, and it really helped my grad school education.
That's great. Fantastic. So was your experience through the McNair program where you ultimately decided you wanted to go to graduate school, or had you made that decision earlier than that?
I think the thought of going to grad school was in the back of my mind, but I hadn't fully made that decision. And it wasn't until we went and visited grad programs of other universities that I made that decision of, okay, this is what I want to do. Because they also, and it's been a while since I've been in there, but if I remember right, we also looked at different job opportunities. And, with getting a chemistry degree, while there are a ton of things you can do with a bachelor's, I was like, I want to aim higher for that. And so, I would say being in the McNair program probably solidified the grad school decision.
Okay, thank you. So, how did the undergraduate program prepare you for the career you currently have?
So, my career is a little bit different in the sense of I'm not directly in the lab. So my current job title is a project manager. So I basically am given projects by my company, and I control the logistics. I meet with clients. I still have to talk chemistry. I have to know the chemistry. I have to order all the materials, but I don't have to do the benchtop work. But just undergrad in general helps you learn time management, which is a key thing in my current position. You have to be able to juggle, multiple things. Like the students are probably juggling multiple classes. So I have to juggle multiple projects. So it teaches you that time management that you need. And then, also it taught me how to talk the chemistry and be confident and speak and know that, okay, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Can you describe for us you already did a little bit your current job, but can you describe your current job and explain how your education as a whole has played into your success in your career?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm a project manager. I work for Thermo Fisher out of Florence, South Carolina. I am not speaking on behalf of the company, but this is my position. I am a project manager, like I said, and basically, so a client will come in and they will want a final drug manufactured, and we will manufacture them at a phase 1 or phase 2 level. And so it's my job to, from the moment that project is signed to the moment that material leaves the door to be shipped, I am in charge of making sure everything runs smoothly and talking with the clients, making sure that I understand the chemistry of what's happening in the lab to be able to convey that. And so, going through grad school, going through undergrad, and being part of a research group, multiple research groups, I was able to see how different people run. I was able to do different chemistry. I can honestly say that I worked on at least 6 different projects, and every single one of them was completely different, and every single one of them has aided my ability to understand what goes on behind the scenes. And so definitely being in the lab and understanding this is how the equipment works. So when my chemist comes to me and says, hey, this broke, I know exactly what they're talking about and I know how we can fix it. Or, hey, I need more of this material, I know exactly which one they're talking about and I can, do that. And so just the lab experience as a whole has really helped me be able to convey everything I need to convey.
Okay. Well, that's the end of the formal questions I had for my Chemistry 108 students. So I thought I would give you an opportunity to tell the students anything that you want, give them any piece of advice you'd like to leave them with.
Don't be afraid to ask questions in class, outside of class. We all go through things in life. Sometimes life just wants to hit you all at one time. You'll get through it. Your professors are there, your other student bodies are there. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't understand, that's the only way you're going to learn is by asking. A lot of my experiences came from me being willing to ask those questions. Don't be afraid to take a chance. So like with the McNair program, I took that chance in hopes of, being able to be part of a program, and I got in. So, apply for those scholarships, apply for those groups. Don't be afraid to do something different.
Okay. Well, again, I want to thank you for your time to chat a little bit with our students, even though it is virtually and recorded. I'm sure that your advice and your experience is going to resonate with a number of the students, and so we just want to thank you for taking the time to talk with them.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And if any of them want to reach out, you can give them my contact information. I'll happily talk with them, answer questions. It's a process. We're all in it together. So yeah, if you want to give them contact, if anyone wants to contact me, they're more than welcome to.
Well, we appreciate that offer, and I'll put that at the end of the video, and so that they'll have your email address. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.